Joel is back on the satellite of love after the bot's little joke. And if you liked Fu Manchu, did you know that author Sax Rohmer had a female version as well? Joel and the bots take on the Million Eyes of Sumeru. I'm DJ Particle and this is MSTie Review. Well, we start off where we left off last time. Joel was floating naked in space. Well, the Mads finally let him in, and Joel realizes that it was the bots pulling a prank on him. And Joel is none too happy.
He's got his BVDs on.
Well, what's he doing outside the satellite?
He's holding his breath. Oh, he's in.
Well, let's see how our little space herpy's doing then.
Come in, Jolene, my little orbiting dove bar.
Thanks for letting me in, sirs. Those pesky robots of mine locked me out of the ship again.
Okay, Jolene, we've got a little foreign number for you.
This one's got all the accessories to make it a perfect movie for you and the bots. It's got lots of angry blonde babes. It's got Frankie Avalon.
And Wilfred Hyde White, and a really, really washed-out print. It's called The Million Eyes of Sumeru.
And Joel also decides to take a small opportunity to get back at the bots for their little joke of locking him outside the ship. Although, frankly, I think Joel probably could have done a little better with the punishment. I mean, after all, he was floating naked in space.
Hey, what's the matter, Servo Cat? Got your voice sequencer, Pally? Oh, the same thing happened to you too, didn't it, Crow? Well, maybe you guys will think twice next time you lock me out. That's why I took the liberty of putting on these video probes.
Oh, it feels so good when the pain stops. It was almost worth it.
Hey, what's wrong, you guys? Where's Gypsy?
You tell him, Servo.
Oh, thanks. Joel, Gypsy got stuck in the spiral on down.
So you left her there?
You know, Joel, my arms are only ornamental, you know. Well, what did you want me to do?
Well, what about you, Crow?
I did do something.
What?
I panicked.
The movie this time is Sax Rohmer's The Million Eyes of Sumeru. Now, as I mentioned earlier, what Sumeru was basically a female counterpart to Fu Manchu, and there were also Sumeru novels as well as Fu Manchu novels, although the Sumeru novels were not as well known. Basically, this was a case of a filmmaker wanted to make a Fu Manchu movie, but couldn't get the right actors. So they got Wilfred Hyde White, Frankie Avalon. Yeah, Frankie Avalon. That will play into things a bit later. And this was the result. All in all, I say this is one of the better KTMA episodes. The riffing's pretty damn good.
Dubbing editor. I thought Frankie Avalon was fully versed in English.
No, he just can't act.
Hey, that's sacrilegious.
Strike a match on a man.
That was the Buddha.
Remember to close your Buddha before striking. Boy, if you gotta go, that's a good way to go.
Merci. The report is sufficient for Our Lady to go to Italy personally to take charge. It appears we are in danger.
You will be the new Pope.
Excuse me, Nick.
This is a hard role for Frankie. He's working without a net.
Of course you do. Why don't you try to follow my example?
And take bad roles.
You can be a...
That'd be pretty embarrassing to be beat up by Frankie Avalon.
Trying to find that damn flute player.
I mean, she is a real nurse, and this is a real hospital.
But are you a real actor?
Obviously a marked man, he hadn't got a chance. They'd tail...
Hey, could we get somebody on the frame, please?
Your approval.
She seems to fall short of the eye count.
You see one eminently fit.
More like a TNA film.
She is young,
Terrible and awful?
healthy,
2 air tickets to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
A complete new wardrobe in 2 very elegant, expensive suitcases.
And a year's
already
supply
on
of
the
turtle wax.
plane.
I had a feeling it wasn't a multiple choice question. So.
He'll do better on the essays.
Yeah, but then what's to keep me from going to the law and telling them about your little organization?
The script.
Then you will be Nick West.
Nick? You know where Nick
West.
is? I said you know where Nick is.
He's west.
I
Go
know where
west.
he is.
All right, now. Cut the knife.
Cut the knife.
Oh.
Wow.
The Graduate.
Well, at least you're a free agent. You've got some choice.
You could join the
I spent
twins.
24 hours at...
Did the film just bog down, or is it me?
Thank you.
Always keep a gun in your shaving kit. Look out for the hair.
I want you to tell me the story from the beginning. And you better make it good.
And use props.
It's not good enough. I don't believe it.
Oh, but you must. It's true.
It's too fast for a real story.
This movie's got something for everybody. Brits, nips, and dips. And whips.
And chips.
Not very good boating etiquette there.
The boatniks. Very interesting. But cuckoo. He's convincing as a man.
Now, one thing those of you who've watched season 11 might know is that Jonah and the bots tend to interact a little more with the movies. Now, the old series had its moments as well, but they also did it in the KTMA season, probably a little more often during this episode than they usually do.
Let's change the controls while they're outside of the car.
Turn everything up real loud.
Turn up all the stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Straighten the tie.
And now, one unique thing about this movie is that there are actually a couple moments where the movie riffs on itself. I'm not kidding. And on one of those moments, Joel's a little pissed off about it.
You borrow that car. You're in wrong picture. Well, I'll cut the jokes.
You want to shave.
If this is where I'm supposed to sing. Nah.
Good one, Frankie. We'll make fun of the movie if you don't mind.
Shall we go?
Sing now, Frankie. Now sing, Frankie, sing.
Now, as for the host segments, again, not too inspired outside of the one where Joel, pulls a prank on the bots to get back at them for locking him outside the ship. I mean, there is one where the bots are just kind of free associating along with Joel, and it can get a little confusing. However, the bots do kind of wonder, how is he breathing out there? How is he? And I sometimes ask these questions too. And when the bots ask these questions, Joel pretty much gives, well, the same answer.
You want fries with that?
No, I'll have the slobs.
Cold slabs?
No, cold porter.
Porter, porter, porter.
Can you dig your bag, sir? Porter in the court, porter in the court.
What do you mean in the court? That ball was out. Are you blind?
Advantage McEnroe.
You're out of order, you
No,
guys.
you're out of order. You're out of order. We're all out of order. This whole proceeding is out of order.
Sorry, sir. There's no more slabs.
Oh, well, then I'm not ordering.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
Joel, I don't understand. How were you able to survive for 5 weeks outside the spacecraft with no spacesuit on?
Yeah, according to my calculations, you should have just suffered an explosive decompression like in the movie Outland.
Huh? Well, fellas, it's something like this. If you're wondering how he eats and breathes and every science fact, just repeat to yourself, it's just a show. Why should you really just relax? Bring it in, Cambot.
This episode closes off with pretty much a generic ending talking about the Mystery Science Theater fan club. Although something went a little wrong with the servo puppet, and the puppets were a little more fragile back then.
Mouth servo's broken, so I'm moving it for him. Anyway,
Too bad.
We've got 900 people in the fan club. Please write in if you want to become a member. You get the membership card, the bonding polymer, the newsletter, and the The bonding polymer is the newsletter.
The mandible, the lower mandible. Is
Right lower mandible. Anyway, we'll see you later. Thanks again for tuning in on Mystery Science Theater 3000. Back to Earth.
Whoa!
So what do we think about episode 0018, The Million Eyes of Sumeru? Well, yeah, well, first of all, the movie's got some political correction problems. Politically correct. How do you even use that as an adjective? Anyway, or a noun rather. But aside from that, Joel and the Bots make endless fun of this movie, even with Tom Servo leaving about halfway through to bake cookies. Not kidding.
Joel? I forgot to tell you, I'm not going to be able to watch the rest of the movie. I have to make brownies for the Pinewood Derby.
All right.
But this is a really good episode, and if you're going to introduce someone to the KTMA era, this is definitely one of the episodes to do it with. And The Castle of Fu Manchu from Season 3 is a classic Mystery Science Theater episode, and this movie is kind of in the same vein where you have a megalomaniacal villain of Asian descent. Yes, this plays into the yellow panic trope that nowadays just smacks of racism. But this is the type of thing that makes for some good riffing. So definitely watch this. It's one of the best ones. Now, next time you've heard of Area 51. Well, this is kind of in the same vein. We take on Hangar 18 next time. And yes, for those of you watching, Hangar 18 has since been riffed by one of the alternate Riff Tracks crews. Not kidding. And yeah, they even borrowed some of the riffs from the next KTMA episode that we're going to review. I am DJ Particle, and until next time, I'm signing off. Boom!